You've got ideas, you've got ambition, you've got no time, or so you think. I'm Marissa Lonick, and I help busy moms with big dreams and no time. Join me each week as I dive into time management strategies, goal setting and achieving framework, and inspiring guests who are juggling mom life, work life, fill in the blank life. Dreams don't work unless you do, and just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't still make it happen, whatever it means to you. Welcome to the Mama Work It podcast. Hello, mamas. I am so excited to be back. Season 3 of the Mama Work It podcast. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm Marissa Lonick, for those of you who don't know, founder of Mama Work It, Mama 4, and I'm excited to be diving into season 3 of this incredible podcast. Okay, so where are we at? Today we're talking about back to school stuff, but before we dive into that, I want to give you a little recap of something very exciting. So last season, our last episode last season was a sneak preview of Biz Momagement, my newest book, Biz Momagement, The Working Mom's Guide to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. And I just want to say, I gave you a little bit of a preview because I was super excited, obviously, that the book was done. And if you've ever written a book, you know, the book writing process is no joke, right? There's a lot of creativity and energy that happens, and that's all great. And then there's also a lot of self-doubt, a lot of growth, which, growth is great, but it's not always fun, right? Like, think about growing pains when you're a kid. Not always fun. There's vulnerability, which is something I definitely struggle with. I mean, I try my best to keep it really real with you, but there's something to be said about sharing vulnerable stories in written format when you know they're going to be printed and read for years to come. That is just like extra vulnerable, right? It's like the double of vulnerability if you want to compare it to an In-N-Out burger. And let's just add some animal fries and a soda in there because we can, and the book writing process warrants all that caloric addition to the vulnerability scale. So I ended last season with a sneak peek at Biz Momagement, The Working Mom's Guide to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Again, my latest book. And like I said, I did this because I was excited. I also did this because girl, just to be really real with you, my creative juices were drying up. Okay. After 30 episodes, after writing about 70,000 words for this book and editing and re-editing, after developing new trainings and courses and programs, I needed a little breather, which, as you know, I took. We paused new episodes for the show for a couple months here, had a great summer. But all this to say, that episode has been my most popular episode to date. I'm just super proud of that. So thank you for listening, for caring, for your ratings, your feedback, for sharing, for subscribing, for all the things. Thank you. I am so incredibly grateful. And today I am, drum roll here, excited to announce and share with you that book, Biz Momagement, that you got that sneak peek of last season, it's on pre-order right now. Yes, we have released the ebook version for pre-order. And if you snag your copy now before it officially hits the shelves on October 6th, you, my friend, will get access to that ebook for just $199 US. Now, I know you might be thinking like, WTF, you worked on that book for like a year, Marissa, and now you're just going to sell it for $199? Are you crazy, girl? But I am doing this for a few reasons, okay? Number one, I want to reward my VIPs for supporting me along the way and getting access for next to nothing, because I wrote that book so a lot of eyes will see it. Okay, not because I want to make it rain all day, every day. I mean, trust me, I want to make it rain all day, every day, but not necessarily through that book. Okay. That book needs to have an impact in different ways. And once you read it, I think you will feel it in that way. I hope you do. Okay. And the second reason is I am eager, my friends, to fulfill a goal of hitting another bestseller here. Okay. So I am putting myself out there to hopefully make this purchase a no-brainer for you and help me hit those numbers. All right. My first book, Time Management, bestseller, and that was entirely thanks to you and your purchase support. And I'm ready to make that happen again with Biz Management. So I would be incredibly grateful for your purchase to help me get there. All right. So what else? What's been up and what are we talking about on today's episode? All right. Well, I want to dive into our topic today. I want to talk about back to school and staying sane. So most of our listeners are US based, and this topic will likely be a seasonal fit for you, right? But hey, you may want to listen to this episode when your kids start school if you're located someplace else and we're not on the same school schedule. I know that's the case, but that's the beauty of podcasts. So do you. But now even in the US, I'm showing up here with the back to school episode like a little bit late to the game, right? Because I know when I was a kid, we went back to school this week, the week after Labor Day, the week of Labor Day. But my kids, personally, they've been back in school for a little bit already. And I even spoke to a mom recently whose daughter had started back to school in late July this year, which that's a little nuts to me, but hey, each state, each district, they make their own rules, right? So to each his own. So today's episode is going to touch upon not necessarily the prep of going back to school, because hopefully now you've done all that, right? The school supplies, the backpacks, the lunch bags, the Costco trip, the new clothes and shoes and socks and underwear and all the things. But now we're going to talk about the possibility of the chaos you might be feeling as you transition back to school. So me, I'm kind of like a nerdy gal here, right? I kind of love back to school season. I always have. And I love it because to me, it's like a new beginning. It's like a second new year in my house. And I find this to be an opportunity to implement new routines, to get back on a schedule since we've been a little bit more lax in the summertime. And you would think going back to school, it also creates more time, more space for a mom to focus less on maybe like entertaining kids in the summer and making it really fun, and possibly tap into some of her own projects, dreams, ambitious goals, right? But it's like, hold up, stop the track. I don't know if you have been feeling this, but I know I sure have. While we're definitely back on routine and the kids are in school and all that great stuff and structure, I've got like a shit more stuff to do here, because now we're dealing with homework, projects, fall sports, possibly more illness down the line as we enter cold and flu season and like the never ending COVID season and all the things. So how do you ensure you're not like losing your shit, feeling overwhelmed, and possibly heading toward burnout as we get back into the swing of back to school? And also ensuring that this new beginning, it feels like one for you too, right? Like you can fit in what you want to do, your dreams, your goals, your purpose, and not just feel as though this season you're in is just another one that doesn't allow for you to do what you want to do. You know, so many times I hear from moms of little kids that they want to do something big. They want to start their business. They want to create more work-life balance. They want to start taking that photography class. I mean, you name it. And yet they don't. They don't, because they fill in the blank with excuses that it's not the right time. It's not the right season. So I hear like, I'll start my business when the kids start school, or I'll create more balance after the holiday season or after the busy season at work, or I can't take that pottery class or that photography class or whatever it is because the time of day it's offered and the schedule doesn't work for me. I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't have childcare. And there's always a reason to not do something. And it would be very easy for you right now in this season of back to school, my friend, where you're inundated with meet the teacher meetings, with volunteer opportunities, with soccer games, with all the things, to simply delay what you want to do. So I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. It's not necessary. It's never the perfect time. And today, if you're listening, this is your sign that right now is the right time. Okay? So we are going to dive into 3 tips to help you create time, space, schedule during back to school to ensure that you and your goals are a priority in that mix. Now, just a quick note. If you are serious about wanting to achieve your goals now and not wait until fill in the blank, the busy season slows down, the baby's sleeping through the night, the soccer season's over, whatever it is, I have the perfect place for you, okay? It's called Biz Momagement Club, and it is for all my mamas who are wanting to start or grow their business, network with other moms in business, learn, create, receive the right systems, tools, knowledge, connections, accountability to succeed at business and at motherhood without burning out. It is possible to have it all. It is possible to do what you love, make a ton of money while doing it. It is possible to not have to work 24/7 to be successful. It is possible to be the person who picks up the kids from school and have thousands of dollars coming into your bank account on the same day. It is possible because it is my reality and the reality for many, many moms out there. And I want to help you make it your reality too. And just to clarify, this is not an MLM. This is not one type of business. This is not selling skincare or coffee or nail stickers unless you want it to be. Okay, this is your business, whatever you are passionate about. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to listen until the end and check out the show notes because I'm dropping an exclusive offer here for you to invite you to join this community. Okay, so back to our tips. What are they? How are they going to help you feel less overwhelmed, more empowered, and most importantly, prioritize all the things that are important to you, your family, your goals, your work, your happiness, all these things, okay? Here we go. First things first, the power of saying no. That's right. You and you alone have the power to simply say no to invitations, to activities, to volunteering, to clients, to colleagues, to any of it. You just have to start getting comfortable doing so. Boundary setting is a skill. It gets easier the more you practice it. Okay. Most times we alone are the ones who are so worried about declining an invitation or signing our kid up for a new sport or taking on all the projects. But in reality, nobody cares. Okay. The person throwing the party probably doesn't care if you can't make it unless they're like your best friend. The soccer coach doesn't care if your kid is on the team or isn't on the team, okay? Your kid won't hate you for life if they don't get to try every single sport by the time they've turned 6 years old. And if your client that you're potentially turning away is upset, or your colleague, they probably are not one of the dreamy clients or like dreamy colleagues that you want in your life. And I'm not saying that it's not that easy to always say no, but it doesn't have to be that hard either, okay? We can be our own worst enemy when it comes to boundary setting. But again, the beauty behind this is that once we're aware of it, we can start practicing setting better boundaries and we can become better and better at it the more we do so. Okay, so first things first, the power of saying no. Secondly, and kind of piggybacking on our boundary setting, is growing in our own self-awareness. Okay, so how do you know what you should say yes to and what you may want to politely decline in your schedule? Well, first, Get to know yourself better. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Like, where do you get your energy from? Is it being in a social setting or is it spending time alone? Being an introvert doesn't mean you're antisocial. It just means you value alone time because it recharges you. Well, on the other hand, time alone to some may actually do the opposite. Think about this in your life and which one feels more like you. When you're developing your schedule, when you're saying yes or no to commitments, I want you to consider this about yourself. How much is too much? How much is too little? Where does this balance out to a place where you will be able to give your best self to your family, to your business, to your goals, to fill in the blank and not feel burnt out? So if you haven't taken a self-awareness assessment before to learn more about yourself, this is a great opportunity to do just that. There are lots and lots of quizzes out there you can Google and access that are free that will give you a better understanding of who you are, help you in turn manage your schedule and life, especially during this very chaotic, potentially chaotic for you back to school season. So it would be hard for me to say to you, just limit things to 1 or 2 per week or do this or do that because I don't know you. I don't know you on that level, right? But you can find out more about who you are by simply looking into one of these self-awareness assessments, learning more about yourself on this level. And I'm just going to plug this here that we have an upcoming episode happening later this month with Tess O'Driscoll. She's known as the Enneagram Mom. And you guessed it, it's going to be all about the Enneagram. So be sure to stay tuned for that episode. Subscribe so you get an alert when it's up. It's going to be so good, mamas. Okay. Moving on here. Our last tip is to simply stop comparing. Like, I know when I see things on social media or I'm chatting with other moms, I'm more inclined to be self-conscious, to be self-critical of what I'm doing, how much I'm doing, if I'm doing enough, if I need to do better. And while it's not a bad thing to always strive to be your best, right? Like us high achieving women, that's just part of who we are, right? But it can also be really self-sabotaging when we're constantly in a state of comparison. So you may want to consider doing a social media clean out and either hide or unfollow specific people or accounts that are making you feel real FOMO there. You may want to start making schedule decisions that are more right for you and your family and stop comparing your choices to whatever's popping into your newsfeed, okay? Sometimes it can feel really hard to decline invitations or, not be part of something because we do get that FOMO. We do get that fear of missing out. And again, social media has really made this phenomenon that much more prominent in our lives because we're constantly seeing other people having fun, other people that look so put together, other people who seem to be juggling all the things and doing a great job at it. And we constantly compare ourselves to that. But again, the thing with comparison is it never, ever, ever makes us feel good, no matter what. We always end up thinking that we didn't make the right choice, or we're not doing enough, or we can never measure up because we're comparing our real life, ourselves, to someone else's highlight reel, other people's social media version of life. And this just doesn't work, right? It's like comparing apples to oranges. So consider doing a little bit of a social media clean out here during this season, especially, and maybe even, just being conscious and aware of this. If you are chit-chatting with other moms or you are finding yourself in a state of comparisonitis, just being aware, getting grounded, taking a couple deep breaths, and remembering your job is to do what's right for you and for your family. Okay. So mamas, the next time you are faced with a sign-up sheet, a play date invitation, whatever you're facing as part of your schedule in this crazy back to school season, especially, I want you to think about you as a person. Okay. I want you to think about that. Sure, it's important to get outside your comfort zone, to try new things, but also it's equally as important to be honoring yourself as the type of person you are and the kind of rest and energy you need as being a crucial component there. Okay. Does the thought of volunteering at the school weekly make you feel excited and happy? Girlfriend, go do it. Does it make you feel depleted before you even set foot in the classroom? Plenty of other parents out there that will do a great job at it, and you can totally decide to donate some classroom items, call it a day, Amazon Prime those things to your house, send them in with your kid. Done, okay? Look at your schedule as quality over quantity. You want it to reflect a number of commitments you care deeply about that make you feel good, not every single thing you can think of with just a fraction of yourself present at each one. Practice setting those boundaries toward invitations when they don't feel aligned for you so you can really show up as your best self. And remember that dreams, goals, things that are important to you, pursuing those actually gives you more energy, more motivation, more patience in all the other areas of your life, because this is a better way, or should I say, the best way to pour into yourself. When you are prioritizing your own ambition, your own goals, you're able to show up as a better mom, a better wife, a better boss, colleague, friend, daughter, sister. You get the point. And what better way to prioritize those goals if they are business related than to join us in Biz Momagement Club. So like I said, I have an exclusive offer for you for the month of September 2022, when we are airing this episode. If you join us in Biz Momagement Club, you will receive your first 7 days absolutely free. This is not a drill. Come test out the water. We've just relaunched. We're so excited about our new structure, our new guest experts, our new resources, and we cannot wait for you to check those out and get the support, the motivation, the accountability you may need to get started, to keep going, to create the life of your dreams, slaying goals in business and in motherhood. I cannot wait to see you in Biz Momagement Club, okay? Don't forget to order your copy of Biz Momagement, the Working Mom's Guide to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Totally on pre-sale right now, $199 US. You are getting so many deals today. Take me up on it. I'm always generous, but I like to think, especially right now, it is very extreme, okay? So that's all. Let's do this. We've got a great season ahead. I can't wait for you to hear from some pretty epic and amazing guests I've been connecting with, and to hear more from me too. So don't forget to subscribe, follow on social media. We're at the handle Let Mama Work It, and visit us at mamaworkit.com so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. I will see you soon, Mama. Thank you so much for being here. You've been listening to the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and would love if you could take a quick minute to leave me a review on whichever platform you're listening from, and maybe even send a note to a fellow mama friend recommending it. Reviews and recs help this podcast grow and reach more like-minded, awesome moms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click that button so we can stay in touch, girl. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Mama Work It website, please do. There are lots of free resources and great articles there that can help you with the juggle of work life, mom life, wife life, fill in the blank life. So head on over. Thanks again for being part of the tribe. I'll see you soon, but in the meantime, keep on working it, mama.